We're loading really slowly today. Oh my goodness. Hey, YouTube. Welcome. Oh man, my phone keeps slipping away. Let me find something heavier. Okay. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Okay. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. Okay. Still. All right. So we're fully live on here. All right. Just waiting for a couple of people to come on. All right, welcome. Some of my usuals cannot make it. But in a couple of minutes, we're going to go ahead and start. And I know you're trying to get on. Or, well, you are on, but other people are trying to get on. All right. Okay. Oh man, I need something else to hold my. I have a glass desk and I shined it today. So my phone keeps sliding off. All right, are we ready to get started? Who's with me in YouTube land? All right. I'm going to go ahead and type the link for this chat, because I find that sometimes people cannot figure out how to get in. But first of all, welcome to Women's Financial Empowerment Group. I'm your host, Ruth Agbeloso. So just wanted to give you a hi, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. This is our regular Thursday night book chat. And I'm just going to go ahead and type the link into Facebook, because I know sometimes some people can't figure out how to get in. I'm not sure why, but it happens. It should show up if you have subscribed and you hit your notification bell. Then you should be able to see when I have something pending, like when I have something scheduled, and you should see when I start. You should get a notification that I've started. Same thing in Facebook. If you say that you're going on Facebook, then you should get a notification when I've started. So starting next month, however, I believe that these book chats, these book chats will be listed under events in Facebook instead of my own instead of my group. So yeah, so that's where you'll find it. So I'm just waiting for one more person who wanted to get on, and I'm just gonna wait like 1 minute. We're really not gonna be on here long because this is not, I don't have a whole lot to cover tonight. So, and I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon. Got tissue. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're getting ready to start. So hopefully everybody who wants to be on is on. We are going to start in 1 minute. If you're there, on whoever's on YouTube, feel free to type into the chat. Let me know you're there so I can give you a shout out. I'm always happy to have people on. Obviously, it's not much of a chat when it's just me. But yeah, it's awesome to have you. And I don't want to be long tonight because, like I said, I don't have a lot to cover. And some of my regulars can't really make it tonight. So I'm just going to do what I do and be off. All right. So here is the, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this and add the link. All right. So this is my last time. Okay. Okay, you're on YouTube. Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry, but don't know how to chat. I did not try your info. Okay. All right. So let me just again welcome everyone. Welcome Harumi. Harumi is in my messenger group, so she's not going to be chatting in the YouTube group, but she's here with us, and so I just want to welcome you, Harumi. Thanks for coming, and whoever else is on, welcome to Women's Financial Empowerment Group. I'm your host, Ruth Aguiloso, with the shiny glass desk that I decided to shine today, and now my cell phone is sliding off. You're welcome. You are welcome. Harumi, if you can find the comment section, you can comment in there and I'll see it after the chat. Unfortunately, I can't see it during the chat, but I could see it afterwards. So yeah, that's how that has to work. I just can't seem to get, I can't get this right. So we're just gonna go ahead. I'm trying to figure out how to, okay, let me just, I'm just gonna put the link in the post. So I know other people try to get on and I don't know. Maybe a lot of my friends are just like me, not overly tech savvy. So I try to be patient with everybody because, you know, even though YouTube has been around for a while, but you know, we've taken our time trying to figure this out. All right. So now I can't even I can't even click on anything. My computer's like frozen. Let me know if you can see me and hear me on YouTube, because I'm just not. I can't even click over to my. Oh shoot! Just lost Facebook. Sorry, guys. All right. I can't see over there, so just let me know if you're there. Still, if you hear me, thumbs up if you hear me. Oh, please go ahead and like this video. Hit the like button so that it shows up. So those people who wanted to watch it, they can watch it later. It will show up. That would be appreciated. And I'm not seeing any activity, so please respond if you can see me and hear me. Okay. Computer is just always acting up on a Thursday night. Okay. All right. How was your day today, Harumi? Harumi is my ride or die, I tell you. One of my ride or dies. Not the only one. One of them, definitely. She's very supportive. Yes, I can see you and hear you. I hope we can finish early. Yeah, we're not staying long tonight because we don't have a lot to cover tonight. So we won't be on too long. I'm just trying to give others the chance to come on and that wanted to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of Facebook so that I don't risk having internet connectivity issues. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Glad that you had a good day. For everyone else who is on, feel free to announce yourself. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just know that I appreciate you being here with us. And the book that we have been doing this month is The Spender's Guide to... heck is the name of this book? Yeah. The Spender's Guide to Debt-Free Living by Anna Newell Jones. It has a longer title than that, but that's the basic title. Anna Newell Jones. So far, I think we've enjoyed the book. It's pretty simple, straightforward. It's about a spending fast and other things. And so it's a really, she's not a guru or anything like that. So I think it was just really nice to hear how she got herself out of debt and, just changed her spending habits and things like that. So it's been an interesting read so far. So we are at the end of it. We are on chapter 8, and we're going to cover it 8 through 11 because, there's not a whole lot to be said about any of those chapters. And then next week, we're going to take a break for the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and announce the books that we will be doing for the next month. So again, there won't be a live next week or the week after, but then we'll start the following week after that. So I'll go ahead and put a post on my Facebook, and I'll put a post here. The next book is Getting Out of Debt Joyfully by Simone Malasas. So I will type that in... I'll type that somewhere. I'll type that everywhere. So you'll know what the next book is. Getting Out of Debt Joyfully by Simone Malasas. We've been talking a lot about debt because debt is a big deal in this country. That not only do we have individual debt by households, but our country is in a lot of debt. So we're just a debt society. So whatever we can do individually to get ourselves out of debt, the better. I just recently had another person in my private Facebook group who achieved debt freedom. So we celebrated her, and that was an awesome thing. If you haven't seen, um, if you haven't seen my video on a couple that I interviewed that achieved debt freedom this year, go ahead to my channel and check that out. I might link it at the end or what have you. But yeah, that was a really great interview. So if you want to check that out, if you have issues with debt, you definitely want to work on that. And everybody's method is, I wouldn't say everybody's method is different, but there are a few different ways to go about attacking your debt. So you'll see some of those in my videos. Check my description box if you need help. My email is there. My website is there. I am more than happy to help you. Oh, I didn't even say who I am. Sorry. Bad manners. Okay, let's start all over. Welcome to Women's Financial Empowerment Group. I'm your host, Ruth Agbeloso, and I'm so happy that you're joining us. I did say that before. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed to this channel. I post weekly videos on Tuesdays, and we usually go live on Thursday nights for our book chat. We won't be having a book chat for the next 2 weeks, so I'll probably just post videos on those on those Thursdays. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so good to have you here. Like I said, check the description box if you need help with getting your finances together. I'm a financial coach. And yeah, and there's also a link to a video there if you have difficulty making time for reading. I know everybody's busy. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, plus I have a job. So it gets really, really busy, but reading is very important. Financial education is really, really important. So I really stress that. So go ahead and take a look at that video. It's a rough video, but there's information in there that I feel will be helpful. So let's get right into it. So in chapter 8, and Anna, she talks about several things. One thing that stood out to me, a few things stood out to me. So one of the things she talked about was what to do with your time. Now that you're not spending your time on spending, because that's what she did best before. Now that you're not spending all your time spending, what do you do with your time? And so she gave some suggestions there. And one of those things is volunteering. You can pick up a hobby that you don't have to pay for or what have you. I definitely love the idea of volunteering in any capacity. When I do have free time, well, I don't know if I ever have free time, but I do like to spend some time reading and getting education in any way, shape, or form that I can. 9 times out of 10, it's free, but yes, I will spend some money to get educated on whatever topic that I need to get educated on. She talked about finding ways to make money to pay off your debt sooner. I really like that section because I am all for multiple streams of income. I'm all about having side gigs. I have a couple, I have a few. So just here and there, different ways that you can make money so you can pay down your debt faster. And the main thing that she pointed out was that, we all have something that we're good at, so brainstorm things that you're good at and things that you like to do. So what I would say is actually take out a sheet of paper and make a list. Just think about all the things you're good at, even if it doesn't make sense, like you wouldn't actually do a job or offer it. Just make a list of things that you like to do. So for instance, you like to walk dogs. You like to spend time with dogs. I think that was one of the things she mentioned. You can turn that into dog walking. You could offer to walk people's dogs, and that could be a way that you make money. So let's see. You like to cook. If you're a person like me that likes to cook, you can offer to make meals for someone and for people and get paid that way. Let me think. She is a photographer. So she talked about how she made money doing photo shoots for people, and she and her husband actually have a thriving photography business now. So I think that's really great. So just take some time out, and just really think about different ways, different things that you really like to do. Now, if you're watching this in 2020, you know that we're really having a rough time with the coronavirus. Sorry. And a lot of people have been out of work and stuff like that. And if there's anything that has stood out to me the most that's important this year, is having a side job or having a business. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you currently only have one job, I suggest you start some sort of business, whatever. And it doesn't have to be something where you have to spend money to do it. There's so many things you can do, especially being online. There's so many ways you can make money. So she talks about so many different side gigs that you could possibly have in any area. So I like to sing, right? So if I wanted to make some extra money, I could tell people, hey, you know what? I could sing at your birthday parties. I could sing at your weddings or what have you. And I could market myself like that. And that would be a great side hustle, right? Or I won't use side hustle because some people might find that offensive. But side hustle is just not your regular means of income. So that is a really great way to pay down your debt faster. All right. So she talked about all of that and, all the different ideas. Oh my gosh, there's so many. If you want some more, if you want to see a video about just side hustles, there's a million of them on YouTube. I could even do one. There's so many. I could even share some of the things that I do. I've always had a side hustle. I can't even think of a time when I didn't have some side hustle. I can't think of a time. At my lowest state, I tried to find something. So there's got to be something that you could do to make some extra money. I remember one of my high school teachers said, where there's a will, there's a way. So you can think of something. And if you need help thinking of something, hey, send me an email. We can do, or you can go ahead to my website and book a discovery call, and we can kind of, meet and talk about some possibilities for you if that's what you need to do, make some extra money to pay off your debt. Okay. So I'm going to leave that alone. I think I've exhausted that. What do you think about that, Harumi? Add to, I'm looking over here, but I know you're on YouTube. Anything you want to add to that, or anyone else who's watching, if you have anything you want to add in the chat, go ahead. Because I think it's important, especially in this day and age, to have something else and to pay off your debt. It's very tempting to kind of just ignore it at this time or what have you. But if you're in a position where you can pay down your debt, that would be good. I know that doesn't fit everybody. So whatever I say, if it doesn't fit you, don't be offended. Just know that, things will get better for you one of these days. I've been really, really low, so I understand what that's like, not being able to have the money to pay the bills that I want to pay, and just having my debt kind of pile up. But anyway, this is not a testimonial. We're going through the book. So if you don't have any comments about the book, I'm going to go ahead and continue. So let me see these notes here. Yeah. And she talks about use the spending fast as the bad guy. So you can use that to get yourself out of activities, and not to be mean or anything, but if you're trying to save money so that you can get out of debt, you're going to have to be able to say no to some things. And we talked about this in a previous video. So this may not be the right time for you to be a bridesmaid. Because if you've ever been a bridesmaid or involved in the wedding, you know it's expensive. By the time you buy the dress, the shoes, everything, it really adds up. And it might not fit in with what you're trying to do. There might be another way that you can get involved with the person's wedding other than, taking on that huge responsibility financially. All right. It says compete with yourself to beat your own personal savings record. Yeah, we talked about that last time. I think I'm looking at the wrong chapter. All right. Figure out when you have blocks of uncommitted time. Make a list of my. Oh, okay. Now I'm caught up. I'm sorry. I was reading from the wrong notes at that time. And let's see. Network to absolutely everyone. Oh yeah, network. That's right. Okay. So going back to finding a side hustle or what have you, get good with networking. I mean, I know some people are kind of shy about telling their friends, neighbors, what have you, what they do, and that they're trying to make money in whatever way. But it's very important to network and kind of advertise yourself. Because if you don't, then you're really limiting your ability to make money. So that's important. So I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that before because I was looking at the wrong page of notes here. All right, now she goes into a lot of detail in chapter 10 about having a yard sale. Now, at first I was thinking to myself, like, why is she going into so much detail? But honestly, I felt like that was one of the most helpful chapters because I feel like, how many people have done a yard sale? I know I have. Have you done a yard sale? Oh, Harumi says, I am in network marketing, biohacking. Yes, exactly. So it's important to get the word out, right? Let people know what you do, right? Yeah, it's very important. So let me not say most of us. Some of us have had a yard sale at some point, right? So I felt like, wow, why was she getting into so many details? But then by the time she went through all of it, I realized there was so much value in what she was saying. One of the things that she stated was that you want to start off designating 5 areas for items. So you want to have a sell pile, a trash pile, a donate pile, a recycling pile, and a give. And then you figure out each thing where they're gonna go. And it's not easy sometimes to give up your things, and it shouldn't be that you're like punishing yourself. But just think about the things that you really don't use, you really don't need, and think about how they can better serve someone else, or if they're just trash them. I'm very sentimental. I have found that it's really difficult to get rid of certain things, especially if they hold some sort of memory. But I'm learning step by step to start getting rid of things that aren't really serving me well. I wouldn't say that I do the KonMari method. However, about, is this thing really going to help me? Is it going to really get used? If it's not, then I need to figure out if someone else can use it. So after you've divided up your stuff into those 5 areas, hey, welcome, Lane. So, Lane, we're talking about chapter 10. We're talking about yard sales and how Anna got into a lot of details about how to set up the yard sale. So I'm not going through the whole thing, but I'm just kind of like giving some little tidbits. So the what I just mentioned is the 5 areas: sell, trash, donate, recycle, and give away. So those are the 5 areas. And then you divide your stuff into that. And sometimes it's hard to get rid of certain things, but you shouldn't punish yourself, but you should ask yourself, is this really something that I need? Is this something I'm ever going to use? Yeah, Lane says, I want so badly to do that. Yeah, I need to do that myself. I need to do it again. I've been throwing away a lot of stuff. Yeah, I get it. Yard sale. Yeah. So she mentioned that one of the things that she mentioned that I didn't really think about is don't you may not want to label your items. Like, I mean, when I say label, like if you're having a yard sale, you may not want to spend the time and put the price on every single item. Reason being is you want to be flexible on the price because you want to get rid of that stuff. You want to make money, and if it's priced too high, obviously you're not going to get it. You want to be able to negotiate, and it's going to take too much time. And anything that takes way too much time, it may be a turnoff for you, and you're probably not going to put as much effort into it. So, because it's just draining. So she recommends, don't even put a price tag on it. But when people come around, then you can discuss price and just be open and to negotiate. Because the point is you want to make some money as opposed to just being stuck with the item. So I thought that was a pretty good tip. She mentioned how your things look, like make sure everything looks clean and displayed nicely so people could see them. If things are hidden or what have you, then, no one's going to buy them. If you have jewelry, make sure it's displayed nice, clothing, what have you. She also talked about online yard sales. Well, it wouldn't be a yard sale, would it? A virtual sale. So when you do a virtual sale, again, you want to make sure that you take really good pictures of all angles of your items. If there's any stains or any, what's that word? Deficiencies, I guess. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'll use that word. Any deficiencies, you want to make sure it shows up in pictures so that people know what they're buying, and you don't have to risk people saying, oh, I want my money back. So you want to be really clear about what you're selling and how much it is. And she talks about defects. Yes. Thank you. Defects. Thank you, Lane. That is the word I was looking for, defects. And Harumi says, I used to, let me see. I used to go to garage sale a lot and always negotiate it. I am the other side. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can find a lot of great things at a yard sale. And unfortunately, when people don't have yard sales, they have those things stacked up in their home and no one's enjoying it because they're in a corner somewhere, a bag or what have you. And it's nice when someone else could find it and just be joyful about it. Like, wow, I found this great thing. So, yeah, that's cool. So again, if you're going online, she recommends doing, using Craigslist because it's very popular, whatever Facebook group that's from your area. And there's so many others. I think Etsy is a good one. But I feel like if you have a specific item, like maybe like clothing, then that could be good, or jewelry or what have you. But hey, I mean, you can sell whatever you want. But if you're going to sell online, you definitely want to make sure that you have the prices under each item. And again, make sure it's clear what you are selling so that no one feels, like you pulled the wool over their eyes, or, you have to worry about people saying, oh, I want my money back. And you want to make sure you post and let people know the first person that lists their payment will get it. Lane says, I found something in the closet, brand new, that I'll be giving as a baby shower gift. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that. Honestly, I have totally done that. Found new things that I've had stored up for, I don't know what. Please don't ask me because I don't know. And I've been able to gift those to somebody else. Yes, that is true. And you save money that way, right? You save money because you didn't have to go out and buy a gift because you already had one. So awesome. That was smart. I've definitely done that. I can't tell you how many baby stuff I've found in my house that I don't have any babies anymore. That is like the shameful thing. I have no babies left. I still have baby things. It's time for a yard sale. But anyway, she gets into all this detail about, how to set up your yard sale online or in person. and what have you. And then she talks about minimalism. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a minimalist. I would like to be one day. I think I've tried it. Um, I've tried to be minimal in some things. Um, but she mentions that there's a website where you can go and play like a minimalist game. It's sort of like a challenge where each week, I think for like 30 days, you get rid of something. And then at the end, Lane says, hubby won't let minimalist. Hey, I get it. I was the opposite. I was the one holding on to stuff. So I think I'm getting better. I just try not to buy anything. Honestly, I try not to buy stuff because when I go into the store, I'm like, oh my, I have to have that. And we talked about that last time. It's just walk away. Just walk away. Because then it ends up not being used. And like, what is the point? You just like wasted your time and money. And yes, you can return stuff because she talked about that in the previous chapter. Just return things after that. That high wears off. Just go ahead and return things to the store. But that's such a waste of time and effort. So I would suggest, decide what you're going to spend before you leave your house, and don't go over. And don't buy anything that you don't absolutely need. And if you're not going to use it, just return it. But yeah, there's so many other methods, and you do what's best for your life. But for me, I try my best not to shop. I do shop, but I try to not do a lot of it because honestly, I have a lot of stuff already that I'm trying to get rid of. So it doesn't help my cause to keep shopping. So anyway, so that being said, she talks about all that that stuff again with their list. Make a list. Can you explain what you mean by make a list, please? Like elaborate on that because I didn't get what you're saying. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the last chapter. All right. Because like I said, I'm not going to go into every detail of the yard sale thing. If you don't have her book already, go ahead and purchase it. If you get a book on, I just want to put this in there. Of course, Audible is not sponsoring this at all. But I do use Audible for some things. And if you buy a book on Audible and you don't like it or what have you, you can return it and get something else. So if you don't know that, just know that you don't have to be stuck with an audiobook that you don't want. So I would recommend get the book and try it out. Lane says, okay, yeah, make a list so as not to overspend at the store. Stick to the list. Yes. I struggle with that still with groceries. And the only reason why I struggle is because I forget certain things to put them on my list. And then I get in the store, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this or I forgot that. But I feel like my last shopping trip, I was the best. Like I felt like I really stuck to what was on my list. And I was proud of myself, honestly. Pat on the back for me. I feel like we're all on a journey and we're growing. Some of us faster than others, but we're growing, and that's the important thing. So I just want to say this, especially to women, because I feel like, I think I said this last week, we tend to compare ourselves to other people, to other women in particular, and we kind of feel like, we're not enough. We're not doing enough. We're not saying enough. We just have this thing about not being enough. Just know that you are enough. And even if you take one baby step today, that is better than nothing. So don't compare your little baby step to someone who has taken like a whole mile, because all those baby steps are going to add up and then you will get to your mile. So don't let anyone make you feel small or make you feel like your efforts are not significant because you haven't achieved what someone else has achieved. You'll get there to debt freedom one day, and you'll get there your way. I'm just sharing these books, sharing these experiences to hopefully motivate us and encourage you, educate you that this is possible, but you'll have to find what method works best for you. And like I said, if you need help, contact me. My information is in the description, and I would be glad to help you, because it's definitely harder to achieve things when you are competing against someone else. I always say compete against yourself. See if you can be your best self and be better than you were before. Lane says we're all running our own race. That is correct. That is correct. I really do believe that. And even with my children, I tell them, I say, compete against yourself. Like, whatever you achieve today, how can you do that better tomorrow? I never try to compare them with other children and their progress. And I guess that's one of the things I love about homeschooling, is that my kids are not competing against other people. They're competing against themselves. Yes, they do. They've done sports and all that stuff, but I encourage them to be their best self and to compete against themselves, whether they are in an actual race with other people or whatever they're trying to achieve. So anyway, moving along. Like I said, we're not going to stay here too long, so I don't want to drone on and on and on. But feel free to chime in if you have any comments or whatever. And never mind me squinting, because, yeah, the print is very small for me. So, okay, so the last chapter, and, I can't even believe we're at the last chapter already, but we are. She talks a lot about the social aspect of the spending fast. She did mention that earlier on in the book, kind of delved down into it. Number one, she mentioned about if you're in a relationship with someone, you definitely want to discuss it ahead of time to make sure that they're on board with it. And, you really discuss, how it's going to work, whether it should happen, all that stuff. You want to discuss it because it can really cause a lot of friction. And Anna does share in her book that in the beginning, it really caused a lot of friction in her marriage. She had just gotten married and she was just disgusted with herself because she was a chronic overspender, shopaholic, we call it. And so putting that on her new husband was really something that made her feel a little bit, it was a burden for her. But then when she decided to do the spending fast, that was also an issue because she thought it could just be something she does and she doesn't have to involve him. But it doesn't really work that way, does it? If you've ever been in a relationship, a close relationship like that, you know that anything you do affects your significant other. So you don't want to, you don't want to make these drastic. I'm on live right now. Sorry. I got knockers. Anyway, so you don't want to make this big decision solo if you're not solo. Get me? You feel me? All right. So that was one thing that she learned and she wanted to share. She shared about social situations. So for instance, your friends are going out to dinner. You want to go out. So what do? Thank you for the like. Whoever liked, thank you very much. Everybody like this video, please. Hit the thumbs up. And oh my gosh, she shared about a situation where she went out with a group of friends and the bill was like mega high. However, she went and she was being conservative because of course she's on the spending fast. So she just had a salad. And when the bill came, it came huge and they decided they were going to divide it up evenly per person. Even though she had a little salad. And I thought that was really funny because I remember that happening to me and my husband. We went to a couple's, I think we saw an event on meetup.com or something like that. And so it was a couple's thing. So we went to this nice restaurant and we didn't order a lot because, we were on a budget, whatever. And so we had our meal and I don't know who decided to split it. We weren't very experienced with that whole thing. And I'm telling you, meals were like $80 and so, like people Oh my God. It was a nightmare because at the end of the day, we were hungry. Like we literally were hungry. So hearing her story made me chuckle because she was saying the same thing happened with her husband. They ended up going home and like eating toast after spending all that money. And that's what happened to us. We left that restaurant and right, that's funny, right? So we left that restaurant and we had to get something else to eat, even though we had spent all that money. But how do you get out of a situation like that? So she gives us some tips. So number one, you can bring cash. Bring cash with you. And before anyone orders, you can tell your server discreetly or however you want to do it. She said discreetly. You can do it however you want. Tell the waiter, hey, I'm going to I would like a separate check. Um, or you can let it be known ahead of time to whoever you're with that, I'm going to pay cash. And, this is how much I'm going to pay or what have you. Another tip she gave was you can opt for coming for dessert instead of the dinner. So let them know, hey, I'm going to come for dessert time. And by the time you get there, obviously everybody will know you're not having a dinner. So why would they want to stick you with like a big bill? So those are just some of the tips that she gave. I'm sure you could probably, not I'm sure, but hopefully you could think of some others. But the point is, don't let anyone sucker you into paying a hefty fee when you did not incur that fee. So that was a painful life experience. But definitely, if you're on a spending fast, you want to have your own bill. You don't want to join in with other people because you don't want to be responsible for their habits. So maybe they want a few drinks, or maybe they want 2 entrees instead of 1. Why should you have to pay for part of their food unless that's what you really want to do? But obviously, if you're in a spending fast, you want to save money. Lane says, wow, I'm still shocked that would happen. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, when she said it, I was like laughing because it was like a flashback for me. I remember when it happened. We were so uncomfortable, but we felt stuck. Like we had to pay. And I think I feel like we spent like 80 something dollars. And honestly, we didn't really eat much food there. We really didn't, and we were hungry at the end. Like I'm not even exaggerating. We were hungry. We were like trying to find some place where we can go and get something cheap to eat afterwards after spending 80 something dollars at this expensive, I don't know if it was a club, restaurant, whatever. And it was just like, wow, we learned our lesson. We never did that again. But wow, what a life lesson. So yeah, always ask for your own check. Split the check. I mean, yeah, get your own check, separate check. That's what it is. Ask for a separate check so that you don't end up in that situation. Oh, another tip that she mentioned is have someone advocate for you. Like if you go there with a friend, let them know, hey, I only bought a little salad, and they'll speak up for you or something like that. Lane says that's enough to never go on a date with others again. Yeah, I don't know if we ever did after that one, actually. But yeah, that was a real turnoff. But I mean, it's a life lesson. And honestly, I think you could really go out and enjoy time with friends, but you have to know yourself. And again, don't compare yourself to others. So if your girlfriends want to go out and they want to have like 5 drinks and they want to do all this stuff, let them do them and you do you. If you just want to have your salad because you want to save, do that. I have totally gone to a dinner. It was a mom's night out. I remember it. I've gone to a mom's night out and just was happy to just be there. I didn't even buy anything. Oh, no, oh yeah, I didn't buy anything. I had a glass of water with a lemon on the side, and I was happy. I had great conversations, and I didn't want them to think I was a cheapskate, but you know what? It wasn't about them. It was about me saving money. And so I didn't want to go over my budget for the month, and I knew it wasn't in budget, but I wanted to socialize because if you're a mom, you know that sometimes you just need to get away. So if you're not a mom, I don't know what to tell you. Ask a mom. Ask a mom. Sometimes you just need to get away. So I did go, and I didn't order anything because I knew it wasn't in budget. I just got water. Yeah. Lane says socialization is important. Yes, that is true. So I ate ahead of time. I ate at home, and then I went and I had water and great conversation because that's where I was at. And, yeah, it felt a little funny at first, but then I was like, you know what? They're not paying my bills. So I'm not going to try to show off for anybody and then cry about the bill later. No, I'm not going to do that. They know that I just had water, so no one's going to ask me to split any bill. So yeah, so the social aspect is a big deal. In addition to like going out and stuff like that, again, if responsibilities. So, if it's someone's birthday or if someone has a baby or something like that, what are different ways that you can handle those situations instead of, and if you're on a spending fast, do you need to buy a gift? You may not need to buy a gift. Let me just say you don't need to buy a gift. If someone is having a baby shower or whatever, and you cannot afford to spend money on a gift, there's other things you could do. You could offer to cook for the shower. You could offer to do something. Think outside of the box. I mean, this is your money we're talking about. So you want to think outside of the box. If someone has a new baby, or something else going on, you can offer to make them meals if you cook, or do something else other than spending like huge sums of money that you don't have just to make the other person happy. And it's good to help out and love on people that way, but within your means. At the end of the day, they'll appreciate you doing something, but you don't have to like fork over a whole bunch of money doing something that you really can't afford. So be real with yourself. Do you and not worry about what other people are doing. So that was one of the messages in the last chapter that she mentioned. And lastly, and I'll stop here with this point, is that she mentioned children. So get creative with your kid-related spending. Again, if you are a mom, you know that children can potentially be very expensive. Aside from clothing and food, activities can be very expensive. So you can come up with creative ways to let them be involved in different things without you spending an arm and a leg. Things like bartering, trading time, trading activities, different things like that. So get the book if you haven't gotten the book, and you can read more in detail. I didn't want to make this too long tonight, but yeah, share your comments if any of this resonates with you. If you've tried any of these already, done any of these things, share so that other people could see it. Definitely like this video, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that, honestly. And, and you can share it with your friends. So that's pretty much it for this book. Oh, wait. Sorry, I missed the comment. Lane says YMCA will give a scholarship depending on your income. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been very creative over the years with activities for my children, even during times when I really just didn't have any money or didn't have much money. So there's so many things you could do, but you have to think outside of the box, and you have to live within your means, ladies. Honestly, you'll feel more at peace at the end of the day if you stay within your means. So that's all for me. Again, I'm going to repeat the book that we're going to be doing next month. It's called Getting Out of Debt Joyfully by Simone Malassas. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I know that it's on Audible. I don't know if it's on Amazon. I have not ordered the book yet. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I have so many books, but I feel like I just want new stuff. So I'm definitely going to check out this book. Lane says Parks and Recs might also give a scholarship for children to do an activity each year. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, and I know our Parks and Rec has a scholarship fund. So yes, there's definitely ways that you can avoid spending money that you don't have, or going over budget, or breaking your spending fast to please your children. Definitely might want to think twice about the level of Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or what have you, because kids play more with not paper bags, not paper bags, cardboard boxes than they do with actual toys. So I can tell you this: once they get the toy, they'll play it for a little while. And I mean, is it just my kids? I mean, maybe it's just my kids. I don't know. But I feel like you could buy them stuff till the cows come home. They always want something else. But if you bring home a cardboard box, I mean, they're just so happy. That takes care of their craft needs. It takes care of their other creativity needs. So, I mean, I would say, maybe scale back on some of the gifting and focus more on time. But that's, of course, my humble opinion. If you need to spend money, if you need to save money and get out of debt, there's many ways you can do it. So that's all for me. Again, my name is Ruth Agbeloso. Check the description box for a helpful video about how to make time for reading, and also information for how to get in touch with me. Please subscribe, like this video, share with your friends, and come again in 2 weeks. We'll meet again. Lane says, mine like boxes as well. They make stuff. There's lots of cars around here made from them. Also, crafting is very cheap. Yes, that is correct, honestly. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your time with me. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to meeting up with you again in 2 weeks. Again, we're not going to be here next week or the week after. We'll be here the following week. And the book is going to be Getting Out of Debt Joyfully by Simone Molasses. Please read the book if you can, so that we can, really, be able to exchange ideas. As much as I love hearing myself talk, no, I prefer, like, if we can, have a dialogue. So anyway, that's about it for me. Take care and have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. And we're done. And it doesn't want to end.